Hello everyone, my name is Nidhi Chauhan. I'm assistant professor in Suresh Gandhia School of Pharmacy in Suresh Gandhia, which comes in Suresh Gandhia University, Jaipur. So today we are going to study about this alkyl halide. So in this alkyl halide, it comes in your pharmaceutical organic chemistry first. That is in your the second semester organic chemistry. So here we are going to discuss about the learning objectives. We have studied this topic in our last lecture also. That is your alkyl halide. What are the alkyl halides and what are the nucleophilic substitution reaction? So here we are going to learn about the method of preparation of alkyl halide and about the chemical reaction of alkyl halides. And the student outcome here, the student will going to know about the alkyl halide that is going to be prepared from different organic compounds. And here also we are going to learn about the formation of different compounds from alkyl halide. So basically, we are going to study about the method of preparation, because in the method of preparation, we are using different reagents or different reactants through which the alkyl halide is going to be prepared. And secondly, we will study about the chemical reaction. So in this chemical reaction, the alkyl halide will react with the different reactant, or you can say the reagent, in the presence of any catalyst, and that will be any naming type of reaction, and after that there will be a formation of a different compound. So here shortly we are discuss this what are the alkyl halides. So alkyl halides, or we can say that they are the haloalkanes. We can say them haloalkanes also, and these are the compounds in which one or more hydrogen atoms in an alkane are replaced by the halogen atoms. And here the fluorine, chlorine, bromine or iodine are of these are the halogen atoms, and these are organic compounds which are having the general formula Rx, where R means your alkyl group and X means your halogens. And this comes in group 17 elements and in the periodic table. And the alkyl halides and aryl halides are also known as the alkyl halides are also known as haloalkanes, and aryl halides are also known as haloarenes. Haloarenes means they are attached on the benzene ring, or you can say that on the arenes, and are the two different type of substituted hydrocarbons. So these are the different types of substituted hydrocarbons. Firstly, it is your alkyl halide, and secondly is your aryl halide. And the major difference between both of them, between the alkyl halide and the aryl halide, is that the haloalkanes are derived from alkanes, and the haloarynes are derived from aromatic hydrocarbons. Same thing. The aliphatic means haloalkanes means these are obtained from your alkanes. Alkanes are your saturated hydrocarbons. They are the open chain hydrocarbons, and if any halogen is attached to attached on that ring, open chain hydrocarbon ring, then it means that is your alkyl halide. And if any halogen is attached on the benzene, or you can say the aromatic hydrocarbon, then it is known as your aryl halide, or you can say them the haloarenes. The haloalkanes can be prepared from other organic compound, and some of the methods of the preparation of this alkyl halides are given below. So next are the preparation method of your alkyl halide. So the preparation method of your alkyl halide generally involves your seven methods from where we can prepare this alkyl halide. So first is your direct halogenation of alkanes. In this halogenation of alkanes means on the alkane there is a directly attachment of this halogen on this, and there is a formation of this alkyl halide. Secondly, addition of hydrogen halides to alkene and alkynes. It means these hydrogen halides are adding on these alkenes and alkynes, and alkenes and alkynes are the unsaturated hydrocarbons, and alkenes are containing the double bond, and the alkynes are containing the triple bond. So if we are adding this hydrogen halide to these alkenes and alkynes, so there is a formation of this alkyl halides, or you can say the haloalkanes. Thirdly, it is the action of hydrogen halides on alcohol. Means on alcohol, if there is addition of this hydrogen, or you can say there is a substitution of this hydrogen halide on this alcohol, then there will be a formation of this alkyl halide. Fourthly, it is the action of phosphoric halide on alcohol. Fifth, action of thionyl chloride on alcohol. Sixth, halogen exchange. Seventh is your Hans-Dicker reaction. So these are the 7 methods from which we are going to prepare this alkyl halide. Firstly is the halogenation of alkane. This process, this method of preparation of alkyl halide is we have also discussed in the alkane unit also. There it is given in the chemical reaction of the alkane. There from alkanes we are preparing different. We are showing the chemical reaction of the alkane, or we are preparing the different products. So here it comes in the method of preparation of this alkyl halide, because here from the methane we are preparing this alkyl halide. So it generally involves the substitution of hydrogen atom of alkane by as many halogen atoms. That is by chlorine. We can also do the chlorination. We can also do the bromination, by iodination also, or by the fluorination also. So here the halogenation of alkanes involves the substitution of the hydrogen atom of alkane by as many halogens atoms. We can do here chlorination also, because we are substituting the chlorine by this, we are substituting the hydrogen atom by this chlorine. Or we can do the bromination also. We are substituting this hydrogen atom by the bromine. Thirdly, we are doing the iodination also. So we are substituting this iodine by this hydrogen atom, substituting this hydrogen atom by the iodine. Or we can do the fluorination also. We are substituting this hydrogen by the fluorine also. So here what we are doing here, we are reacting this methane with this chlorine, and in the presence of your ultraviolet light, and or at high temperature 300 degrees centigrade to yield methyl chloride or chloromethane or hydrogen chloride. So here what we are doing, here we are reacting this methane, or you can say the alkane, with this chlorine, that is your halogen, in the presence of your UV light or any light, and I is heating also 300 degrees centigrade, and we are preparing the methyl chloride, which is your alkyl halide, and hydrogen chloride. So here in this reaction, what is happening? Firstly, in the first step, what will happen is that chlorination on the presence of this UV light is there is a homolytic fission will occur because of this UV light, and due to this homolytic fission, this chlorine will take their electrons. There will be a partial, means both will get the one electrons which they are sharing here. So here there will be a formation of this chlorine ions, and chlorine 2 chlorine ions. So after that, one chlorine will react with this methane, and there is a formation of this methyl chloride again. But after the homolytic fission of this chlorine, we can remove the UV light from here, because UV light is here is for the starting of this reaction. That UV light is here for the for to start the reaction of this halogenation of alkane. After that, this methyl chloride is again react with this chlorine. Then there is a formation of this dichloromethane. After that, again there is a formation of this chlorine will react with this dichloromethane. There will be a formation of the chloroform, that is your trichloromethane. And in the lastly, you will see that in trichloromethane there is also one hydrogen present. Then this chlorine again will react with it, and there will be a formation of this carbon tetrachloride, or you can say methane. So here these four products will be formed and one product will be your HCl. In the last, this your H that are substituted from this alkane will react with this chlorine and there will be a formation of this HCl. So here we are getting a 5 products from this halogenation of alkane, and all the 4 products that are formed from this alkane from this halogenation of alkane will be your alkyl halide. So the second reaction is your addition of your hydrogen halide. So here there is an addition of hydrogen halide in this alkene or alkene. You can see when ethylene is reacting with this HBr, because HBr is your hydrogen halide. So there is a formation of this ethyl bromide. One H, when there is a fusion, the fission in here, fission will occur here, then the H will take the electron. H is having the positive charge because this bromine is your halogen and is electronegative. It will withdraw electron from the hydrogen. So here the bromine will get the negative charge and the hydrogen will get the positive charge. And here in the ethylene case, what will happen? Any carbon will withdraw electron because both are having the same property. So here one carbon will withdraw electron from the other, so other will be getting the positive charge, and the other and which is withdrawing the electron, that will get the negative charge. So here the negative carbon means here this carbon is your negative, and this carbon negative will be attacked by this hydrogen because it is having the positive charge. So it will react with to this carbon atom, and this is having the positive. This carbon is having the positive, and it needs electron to form a bond to form its last orbital, to fill its last orbital. And so that is why this positive carbon will react with this negative bromine and they will share electron with there, and there will be a formation of the bond. That is why there is a formation of this ethyl bromide. So here you can see this CH3 CH2. So this bond will break here. There will be a breaking of this bond. After that, there is a formation of this ethyl bromide. This is your CH3, CH2, and after that Br. Next, this is your butene. Butene is having the symmetrical, if it is breaking from here, then it is having both the carbon is having 1 CH3. So this is your symmetrical alkene. So here, this carbon here is going to withdraw electron from here, from this carbon, and here this carbon will get the negative charge and this carbon will get the positive charge. And this HBr, same case, the H will get the positive and Br will get the negative charge. So here this positive will go to this negative position and this Br will go to this positive position. So here there will be a formation of this 2-bromomethane, or you can say here this is also your bromoethane. So this is your butane because it is having the 4 carbon atom present on the present in this open chain ring. So here open chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and on the second position there is a bromo attached. So that is why its name is 2-bromobutane. Next is your action of halogen acids on alcohol. So here you can see alcohol react with HBr or HI to produce alkyl bromide or alkyl halide. So here you can see this is your alcohol. This is a primary alcohol, and when we are reacting it with this halogen acid or your halogen hydrogen halide, then there is a formation of this ethyl bromide, because this OH, when will draw electron from here, this carbon will get the positive sign and this OH will get the negative sign. So this negative OH will react with this positive H and there will be a removal of this water molecule from here. So there is a formation of this water molecule, and this Br, which is having the negative charge on it, it will react to this CH2. So this is your ethyl alcohol, and from this ethyl alcohol, there is a formation of this ethyl bromide. So here you can see this mechanism. So in your mechanism, you can see here HBr is, there is a dissociation in this HBr, and it is getting the H positive, Br negative, and there is a formation of this CH2, CH2Br, and this OH and H will form a water molecule. So the fourth reaction is your action of phosphorus halide on alcohol. So here alcohol react with this phosphorus halide to produce alkyl halide. So here you can see ethyl alcohol is reacting with this PCl5. So here PCl5 is your ethyl bromide. So here ethyl bromide is reacting with this this alcohol, and it is forming here ethyl bromide, HCl, phosphorus trichloride. So here you can see ethyl alcohol is reacting with this phosphorus halide, and here you can see this is pentachloride. This is your pentachloride because it is having the 5 chlorine atom. So this red showing that it will withdraw from here, and this will get a positive sign on here, and this H will withdraw from here. So here you can see this will happen here. This Cl will react with this CH2. This O will react with this P. Okay, and this H will remove out from other because it is having the 5 chlorine. So this H will react with this Cl. After that Cl, this Cl will remove from here and will get attached to this position. Okay, so here there is a formation of this ethyl bromide, HCl, and this POCl3. Next, this is the fifth reaction. That is your action of thionyl chloride on alcohol. So here you can see that alcohol react with thionyl chloride in the presence of pyridine to produce alkyl halide. So here you can see ethyl alcohol is reacting with this SOCl2, which is your thionyl chloride. So this thionyl chloride is reacting with this alcohol in the presence of your pyridine, and there is a formation of this ethyl chloride and sulfur dioxide plus HCl. So here the mechanism shows that by this red color will be removed from here. It will withdraw this O will withdraw electron from here, then this H will get the positive charge, and this H positive charge will react with this Cl from this sulfur. This Cl will also remove from here, and it will withdraw electron. So this Cl will get the negative charge and S will get the positive charge. So this H and Cl will react, and there is a formation of this HCl. This will be removed out. After that, this S will get the positive sign. Then what will happen? Now this Cl will also remove from here, and it will get the negative charge. And this O from here withdraw electron from here. So this carbon will get the positive charge here. So this carbon positive will react with this chlorine negative. This chlorine negative. So here there is a formation of this ethyl, this alkyl halide, and this O will remove from here. Sorry. This O will remove from here, and this O will react with this sulfur, and there is a formation of this sulfur dioxide. So here you can see here the formation of this ethyl chloride plus sulfur dioxide is formed. Next is your sixth reaction, that is your halogen exchange reaction. So here what will happen? The alkyl bromide is heated with concentrated solution of sodium iodide in acetone to form alkyl iodide. So here you can see this alkyl bromide, this is your alkyl bromide, or you can say it ethyl bromide. So this ethyl bromide is reacting with this sodium iodide. So this sodium iodide, and in the presence of your pyridine, this Na is removed from here. This I is removed from here. This will withdraw electron from the sodium, and the sodium will get the positive charge. And this Br will withdraw here from here. This Br will withdraw electron from here, and this Br will get the negative charge, and this CH2 will get the positive charge. So here this is having the electron deficiency, and this is having the electron donating. So this electron donating ion will react with this CH2, and it will form an ethyl iodide, and this Br will react with this sodium. So that is why this reaction is this reaction name is your halogen exchange reaction, because what is happening here? It is happening here the exchange of the halogen. You can say here, you can see here, this is the exchange of the halogen. This is also halogen, this is also halogen. So both of them are exchanging. So Br will get from here to this position, and the iodide will go from this position to this position in the presence of pyridine. So, or you can say heated with concentrated solution of sodium iodide. Here we have to take this a sodium iodide concentrated solution. This can be happened in the presence of acetone also. So here there is a formation of this ethyl iodide and sodium bromide is formed here. Next is your Hans-Dicker reaction. So what is your Hans-Dicker reaction? In this reaction, you will see a silver salt of carboxylic acid react with your halogen, and it will give a unstable intermediate which is decarboxylated to form alkyl halide. So here you can see the silver acetate. Silver, why it is known as silver acetate? Because the silver ion is attached to this acetate structure. This is your acetate ion. CH3COO negative, and this Ag is your positive. So here when silver and this acetate will combine, and it will form a silver acetate. So when this silver acetate is reacting with this halogen, halogen is your Br2 and it gives an unstable intermediate, and here it is giving an unstable intermediate which is then decarboxylated. Here from here this is decarboxylated, and there is a formation of this alkyl halide. So after that, there is a formation of this alkyl halide. So here you can see a silver acetate is reacting with this Br2, that is your bromine, and in the presence of carbon tetrachloride. After that, this Ag is removed from here, and it will get linked to here. So you can see in this mechanism also, you can see here Ag will react with this Br, and there is a removal of this silver bromide. So here silver bromide will remove from here, and after that this Br, the second mole of this Br will react to this position. Okay, then then this Br, then this O negative, O negative charge then is reacting with this Br, that is having the ion, Br ion, because here they are there is a fission is occurring between this Br2 molecule, homolytic fissions occur. So here you can see here, now this decarboxylation is happening here. So here, from here, the CO2 is removed down. That is known as your decarboxylated. So if the CO2 is removing from here, then there is a formation of this CH3 free radical and this Br free radical. And after that, this both of this free radical will share this free radical, and there is a formation of this methyl bromide. So these are these seven reactions through which we can prepare our alkyl halide. So the first one was your halogenation, and second one is your addition of your hydrogen bromide, or you can say the alkyl halide. Thirdly is your exchange. Fourth is your fourth one is your that reaction that is your halogen exchange. Fourth is your phosphorus halide, action of your phosphorus halide on alcohol. Third one was your action of halogen bromide on your alcohol, addition of the this halogen halide on alcohol. After that, this is your action of phosphorus halide on alcohol. After that, the fifth reaction was your action of thionyl chloride on alcohol. Sixth is your halogen exchange. Here you can see the exchange of the halogen. And the seventh one is your Hans-Dicker reaction. So here in your Hans-Dicker reaction, there is a presence of carboxylic acid, and after that this carboxylic acid is decarboxylated, and after that there is a formation of your alkyl halide as a product that we needed in the last. And next is your reactions of alkyl halide. So now there is a chemical reactions of alkyl halides. Now the alkyl halide will react with the other reagents or your other reactants, and then they are going to form the different products. So this involves the five types of reactions. This also involves the five type of reaction. Then the first one involves the nucleophilic substitution reaction. So here the nucleophilic substitution reaction involves, there is a SN1 and SN2 reaction that we have studied in the last lecture, that there are the two type of reaction, that is your SN1 and SN2. And in the nucleophilic substitution involving this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 type of reaction. Here we are substituting by this hydroxyl group. These are the nucleophiles. These will act as a nucleophile. So these are from this they are substituting by the hydroxyl group, and here we are substituting by amino group, substituting by alkenyl group, substituting by alloxy group, substituting by thionyl group, substituting by thioethers group, and substituting by an acetyl group, substituting by an cyano or isocyano group. Next is your reduction. Here reduction will happen. Reduction is your addition of hydrogen atom and the removal of oxygen atom. So here there is a reduction of this alkyl halide. After that, the third reaction is the elimination reaction. In this, the elimination reaction will occur that we have studied in this alkene lecture in your alkene. And fourth is your where we are in the method of preparations of alkene. You can check that lecture. And the fourth is your Booth's reaction. And the fifth is your reaction with metals. That if alkyl halide is reacting with the metals, then what will be the product formed? So here, these are some of the chemical reaction of your alkyl halide. So the first is your nucleophilic substitution reaction. So we will just summarizing it, that nucleophile, what is your nucleophile? Nucleophile is any reagent that denotes and donates an unshared pair of electrons to form a new covalent bond. So here nucleophile is that reagent that is donating, that is having a electron donating property, because that is having electrons. They donate an unshared pair of electrons, and after that, sharing that unshared pair of electrons, there is a formation of a new covalent bond. So here nucleophilic substitution reaction in which one nucleophile is substituted for another. So here what will happen in nucleophilic substitution? Substitution means that one is substituted by the another. So here one nucleophile is substituting by the another nucleophile. So that is known as your nucleophile substitution reaction. So in this two type of nucleophilic substitution, first is your SN1 reaction and the second one is your SN2 reaction. So in your SN1 reaction, what is? It is about the unimolecular nucleophilic substitution, nucleophilic substitution. And the second one is your SN2 reaction, that is your bimolecular nucleophilic substitution. So in your SN1 reaction, you can see here a nucleophile is present, and this nucleophile is going to attack on this alkyl halide, which is also having a nucleophile, that is your halogen halide that is attached to this alkyl. After that, there is a replacement, there is a substitution of this halide that is attached to the carbon atom, and the second nucleophile will get attached to this position. So here you can see there is a substitution of this nucleophile by the another nucleophile. This is known as your nucleophilic substitution reaction. Next is your substitution by hydroxyl group. So the alkyl halides here react with aqueous potassium hydroxide to form alcohol. So here what is happening, here you can see that alkyl, this ethyl bromide, which is your alkyl halide, is reacting with this aqueous sodium hydroxide, and you can take here sodium hydroxide also and potassium hydroxide also. You can take anything, but in the aqueous solution, not in a concentration. So here we are taking this sodium hydroxide, and from here what will happen in the presence of your H2O? After that, there is a formation, there is a formation of this ethanol. because you know that OH will withdraw electron from the sodium and the OH will get the negative charge and it will act as a nucleophile in this reaction. The sodium will get the positive charge and this Br will withdraw electron from the CH2 and this Br will get the negative charge and this CH2 will get the positive charge. So this Br is another first nucleophile and this OH is your second nucleophile. This first nucleophile will get substituted by your second nucleophile. So here this Br will get substituted by this OH, that is your second nucleophile. So here the product form will be ethanol. So ethanol is formed because this OH attached to this position and there is a formation of this ethanol and this Br get removed from here and it will get attached to this Na, that is your sodium. So the sodium bromide is formed and this ethanol is formed. Next is your SN1 unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. So here in this reaction, bond breaking and bond breaking between carbon and leaving group is complete before bond formation with the nucleophile. So here this process involves two steps. This is involving two steps like your even reaction. These are also involving two steps and this is a type of reaction is classified as unimolecular. Why it is unimolecular? Because here you see that the alkyl halide is involved in your rate determining step. Okay, and there is a rate. Rate of reaction is depend upon this K constant, that is your alkyl halide. So here only on the one molecule the rate of reaction is depending. That is why it is known as your SN1 reaction. SN1 means unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Only one molecule is involved in the substitution of the nucleophile. And here you can see in this reaction, this methanol is given, which is your, from this methanol, this OH is your secondary nucleophile. So here what you will see that this Br, this in this case this Br is firstly get break, this bond will get break and after that this leaving group, this OH, this Br which is your leaving group, that will remove from here. After that this OH will attack to this carbon atom and there is a formation of this 2-methoxy 2-methyl propane. So in this case, this O is this H will withdraw here. H will leave its electron to this O, and it will get, after that it will get attached to this Br. There is a formation of this HBr. Next is your mechanism of this. Here you will see that there is a formation of this tertiary carbocation intermediate after the ionization of CX bond. Here there is a ionization of this CX bond. After that there is a formation of this carbocation. Tertiary carbocation is formed and tertiary carbocation is more stable than the primary carbocation. So here you will see that the reaction of methanol from either. Now this methanol will attack from any position, from the front or from the back. So it will attack from the either face of the planar. Carbocation intermediate gives an oxonium ion and proton transfer to give a tertiary butyl methyl ether. So here this reaction is happening in two steps, and here you can see that firstly there is a ionization of this bond, this CX bond, and after that there is a reaction between this methanol and it will react to this from the front position, and there is a formation of this oxonium ion. And here this step will be fast and this step is a slow because it is a rate determining step, because this this bond, this leaving group will also remove slowly. Next, after that, when this leaving group is removed, here there is a formation of carbocation. Then this carbocation will react by this methanol, that is your secondary nucleophile, and there is a formation of your oxonium ion. After that, this oxonium ion will react with this Br ion, and this there is a formation of this 2-methoxy 2-methyl propene, and this HBr is formed. This is a mechanism of SN1 reaction. Next, this is a SN2 reaction. It is a SN2 reaction because here bimolecular is because written because it is containing two. Two means bimolecular, and here the rate of reaction will depend upon the two molecules, and it is a constant concerted process. Here bond breaking and bond forming take place simultaneously. From one hand there will be a bond breaking, and from the other hand there will be a bond formation. So this will take place simultaneously. So this type of reaction is classified as bimolecular because the alkyl halide and the nucleophile are involved in your rate determining step. So here the rate is depending upon your alkyl halide as well as your nucleophile. So here you can see this NaOH is and from this NaOH this OH will remove off from here and it will react to the this position from this carbon. So here there is a formation of this methanol and NABR is formed. Next, this is the mechanism of SN2 reaction. So here, what will you see that the nucleophile attack the reactive center from the opposite side of the living group. So here it will attack to the opposite side of the this molecule, because on the front side this bond breaking process is occurring and this group is attached to it. This halogen group is attached to it. That is why it can't attack from this position. So it will attack to the back position. So it is going to attack from the back position, backside of the backside, and the SN2 reaction is deriving by the attraction between the negative charge of the nucleophile and the positive charge of this living group. So here there is a transition stage is formed. You can see a transition state is formed, and after that there is a formation of this methyl, that is your alcohol is formed, and NABR is formed. So here you can see NaOH, Na positive and OH negative. After that, this OH negative, that is your second nucleophile, which will attack from the backside of this molecule, and there is this type of transition state is formed, and after that there is a formation of this product, that is your methanol product is formed. And this is the type of your SN2 reaction, and this is the mechanism of your SN2 reaction. Next is the factor affecting SN1 and SN2 reaction. So here the factors that are affecting the SN1 and SN2 reaction is your substrate and nucleophiles, solvents. So here you can see here that in SN2 reaction, the steric hindrance increases as we go from primary to secondary. So in this case, in SN2, the rate of reaction will be faster in case of primary. In secondary, there will be a slow, and the tertiary, it will be a slowest. And in SN1 reaction, you can see here that the carbocation stability increases as we go from primary to tertiary. So here the reaction rate will be faster in case of tertiary, then secondary, and slowest will be in primary. This is just the opposite of each other. And secondly is the nucleophile. So in in case of SN2, there is a strong nucleophile is used, and in case of SN1, there is a neutral compounds are formed. After that, solvents. So in case of SN2, a polar aprotic solvents are used, like your acetone, DMSO, acetonitrile, DMF, and in SN1, the solvents that are used as polar protic solvent, that is your water, alcohol, carboxylic acid. Next is your substitution by amino group. So here alkyl halide react with alcoholic solution of amino group to form amines. And here you can see the ethyl bromide is reacting with this ammonia in the presence of your ethanol, and there is a formation of this ethyl amine and the HBr. So in the mechanism you can see here amino, ammonia, this ammonia NH3, from here this one H proton will remove out from this, and there is a formation of this nucleophile, that is your NH2 negative, and it will react to the positive of this carbon, the carbon that is having the positive charge, and there is a formation of this ethylamine and HBr. So here you can see that NH2 negative will attack to this carbon atom because this Br will withdraw electron from here. So that is why there is a formation of this ethylamine. Next is Substitution by alkenyl group. So here you can see the alkyl halide react with sodium acetylides to form higher alkynes, and ethyl bromide will react with this sodium acetylides, and in the presence of your ethanol, and there is a formation of this but 1 ine, and plus NBr is formed. So in the mechanism you can see there, this sodium acetylide is what is happening here. There is a formation of ionization is happening, and this is your secondary nucleophile, and here this Br will remove out from here, and this will get attached to this position. So here there is a formation of this but 1 ine NBr. Next is your fourth, substitution by alkoxy groups. So here you can see there alkyl halide is reacting with this sodium methoxide, and there is a formation of this ester, and sodium alkoxide is prepared by dissolving sodium in alcohol. So here this method is used for preparing alcohol, is called as Williamson ether synthesis, and ethyl bromide is reacting with this sodium methoxide and methoxyethane, and you can see here the mechanism. So here this is your sodium alkoxide, and it is the secondary nucleophile is getting attached to this position CH2. There is a formation of this methoxide, and this reaction is also known as Williamson ether synthesis. So here there is a formation of this ether. Next is your substitution by thiol group. So here you will see that the alkyl halide react with this potassium hydrosulfide and to form thiol. So here ethyl bromide is reacting, iodide is reacting with this potassium hydrosulfide, and there is a formation of this thiol. And there is a mechanism, this potassium hydrosulfide, from here this thiol group is removed, and this SH group, that is a hydrosulfide, and this potassium is carrying the positive charge, and this will react with this negative portion will react with the positive portion of this CH2, and this negative of this iodide will react with this potassium, and there is a formation of potassium iodide. Next is your reaction with potassium sulfide. So here you will see alkyl halide react with potassium sulfide, and there is a formation of dialkyl sulfide. So here you will see the ethyl iodide will react with this potassium sulfide, and there is a formation of this diethyl sulfide. So here we are taking the 2 molecules of this ethyl iodide, and after that you can see here this CH2 is reacting with this S. See here, this potassium will react with this iodine, and there is a formation of 2 moles of potassium iodide, and there is a formation of this diethyl sulfide. Next is your reaction with silver salt of carboxylic acid. So here alkyl halide is reacted with the silver salt of carboxylic acid, and there is a formation of this ester. So here you can see in the mechanism the silver acetate is ionized, and there is a acetate ion is formed, and this silver is getting the positive charge. After that, this bromide will get the negative charge by withdrawing the electron from this CH3CH2 group, and it will then react with the silver, and there is a form of silver bromide. And after that, this acetate ion will react with this alkyl group, and there is a formation of this ethyl acetate. Next, reaction with sodium cyanide. So here alkyl halide is reacting with the sodium cyanide in the presence of this ethanol, and there is a formation of this alkyl cyanide. And you can see here the ethyl iodide is reacting. This sodium cyanide is ionized, and this cyanide ion is reacting with this positive portion of this alkyl group, and this sodium is reacting with this negative portion of this iodide. So there is a formation of this ethyl cyanide. Next, that were all the substitution reactions, and now this is the reduction of alkyl halide. So here you will see that the alkyl halide undergo reduction with this nascent hydrogen, and in the presence of the reducing agent, that is your zinc and HCl, and there is a formation of this alkane. So here alkyl halide is reacting with this nascent hydrogen in the presence of this zinc HCl, which is your a catalyst, and there is a formation of this alkane. and there is a formation of this hydrochloric hydrobromic acid is also formed here. So here you will see the methyl iodide is reacting with this nascent hydrogen in the presence of zinc and HCl, and there is a formation of this methane and HI. Next is your elimination reaction. This reactions which we have done in your preparation of the alkene, you can see in that also it is elaborated there. So here we are discussing brief. So here elimination reaction, dehydrohalogenation means here there is a removal of hydro and halogen from the alkyl halide. That is why here written dehydrohalogenation. D means removal, hydro means hydrogen, and halogenation, halogen from there from the alkyl halide. So when we are reacting this alkyl halide, or we are heating this alkyl halide with this alcoholic solution of sodium hydroxide, so there is a formation of this alkene and hydrogen halide is formed. So here you can see we have taken the example of propyl chloride, and we are heating this in the sodium hydroxide in alcohol, and there is a formation of this propene, and this HCl is removed from here. This is dehydrohalogenated from here, from this alkyl halide. Next is your Wurtz reaction. So in your Wurtz reaction, that is also we have done this the higher alkanes are produced by heating an alkyl halide in the presence of your sodium metal in dry ether. So here we need a dry ether, and here we are taking the 2 moles of alkyl halide. After that, this from here there is a loss of this halogen atom, and it will react with the sodium, and there is a formation of this symmetrical alkane by joining these 2 alkyl groups and having even number of carbon atoms. So here you can see we have taken the example of methyl halide, and we are reacting it in the presence of sodium metal and in the presence of dry ether, and there is a formation of this ethane. Next, reaction with metals. So here we are taken this is your Grignard reagent, that is your alkyl magnesium halide, and this is obtained by your treating it with alkyl halide with magnesium in anhydrous ether, and we are giving here alkane. So here you can see alkyl halide is reacting with this magnesium in the presence of your ether, and there is a formation of alkyl magnesium halide. So this alkyl magnesium halide is your Grignard reagent, and this Grignard reagent is after that is reacting with this water HOH. After that, when this is reacting with this hydrolysis is occurring here, and there is a formation of this alkane. So here we have taken example of methyl magnesium iodide, and here when this is hydrolyzing, and there is a formation of this methane molecule. Now the questions. The first question is your which of the following is not the method of preparation of alkyl halide? Addition of phosphorus halide on alcohol, halogenation of alcohol, addition of HS on HX on alkene, or the hydration of alkene. So the fourth is hydration of alkene. Second, which of the following reactant gives the best method of preparation of alkyl halide when react with alcohol? So here zinc HCl, dry ether, SOCl2 pyridine, or PCl3. So here the option C. Next, what are the products when reactants are alcohol and thionyl chloride in the presence of pyridine? That is your option B is correct. RCl, SO2, and HCl. Now in Williamson synthesis, that what product is formed? So the product formed is your ethers. That is your B. The ether used in Wurtz synthesis is your acidic, basic, aqueous, dry. So the answer is your D, that is your dry. When alkyl halide undergo reduction, the product formed is, that is your B, that is your alkane. When 2 moles of ethyl chloride react with 2 moles of sodium in the presence of ether, what will be formed? That is 2 moles of ethane, 1 moles of ethane, 2 moles of butane, 1 moles of butane. Then the answer is your D. 8. What is the Grignard reagent? Alkyl magnesium halide, alcohol, ether, sodium hydroxide. So option A is correct. That is your alkyl magnesium halide. Now the ninth question, on reaction of alkyl halide with sodium cyanide, the product formed is alkane, alkyne, alkyl halide, none of the above. So the answer is your C, that is your alkyl cyanide is the product that we get on reaction of alkyl halide with your sodium cyanide. The 10th, SN1 reaction is a type of unimolecular, bimolecular, both A and B, and none of the above. The answer is your unimolecular, that is your option A. Now these are some of the references from where you can study this topic of alkyl halides. So next, we're going to study in the next lecture some of the topics that are left in the alkyl halide. So thank you so much for today's lecture.